As far as brand recognition in the tech industry is concerned, no one's become quite as much of an iconoclast as Apple. And when you think of Apple, two words probably come to mind: innovation and expensive. They've always marketed themselves and their products as high-end, with their price points simply reflecting that. And year after year, those prices have only grown. Accounting for inflation, that's normal, right? Well, yes and no. That's why we're taking a look at why exactly Apple products cost so much. Over the last few years, Apple products have seen some frankly massive price hikes. For example, in 2016, the price of Apple's newest iPhone, the iPhone 7, was $649. Not exactly cheap to begin with. But in 2017, the price of the newest iPhone, the iPhone 8, rose to $699, this being a 7% increase from the year before. And yes, that might be justifiable, albeit pushing it. But in 2018, the price of the newest iPhone, the iPhone XR, rose by another 7% to $749. That's a routine increase year after year, and that's just talking about the lowest end models. Does the price hike justify the addition of new features? Maybe, but consider that 11 years ago, when the original iPhone was released, it cost $499. At the time, it was undoubtedly high, and it's been going up. But if the iPhone took 9 years, from 2007 to 2016, to increase in price by $150, why is its price suddenly skyrocketing? Before we jump the gun, we'll take a look at some of their other products. Upon its release in 2011, the iPad retailed at $499 for its cheapest model. In 2017, the iPad Pro went for $649. And in 2018, the new iPad Pro sold for a whopping $799. The same applies to the Mac Mini. Its 2017 model sold for $499, and its 2018 model went for $799, a 60% increase from the last model. The same trend applies for products like the MacBook Air and the Apple Watch. Clearly, the stats speak for themselves. In recent years, Apple has been drastically raising their prices. The question is, why? Apple has certainly seen their share of profits over the last 10 years. To say that they've become a massive global brand is an incredible understatement. In 2018, for example, they pulled in over $265.6 billion US. We're talking about a company whose stock price was 35 cents a share when they opened in 1981, and which has risen to $183.60 a share in 2018. In fact, anyone not kicking themselves for not having gotten in early should probably get on that immediately. So we say again, why are they charging so much? At least part of it has to do with image. It's hard to think of Apple without also picturing the strangely charismatic frontman/CEO who helped bring the company up to its current heights. You might even say he was instrumental to that process. With his trademark black turtleneck, blue jeans, and New Balance sneakers, Steve Jobs, rest in peace, was as much of an icon as Apple ever was. And you'd be hard-pressed to name a more recognizable tech executive. In fact, how many can say that they've had 4 movies made about them? To wit, Jobs' focus on the pairing of new technologies with innovative business models is a large part of what made the company so successful. It started in the 80s and 90s with the streamlining of the personal computer model, and with Apple's production of the iMac, a computer without a tower or a monitor and with everything built in. Jobs' focus on products with ease of use and a sleek aesthetic would carry on into later projects, and would become emblematic as Apple's style as a company. In the early 2000s, the production of the iPod and with it the iTunes Music Store would revolutionize how people consumed music by no longer needing to bother with physical copies of records, cassettes, or CDs, and especially not needing to drive down to a retail location in order to get their tunes. After all, why would they when they can download their favorite songs from the comfort of their homes and listen to them on a portable device they could carry with them anywhere? This kind of forward thinking on Jobs' part would really manifest itself in 2007 when Apple released the world's first smartphone. A phone, music player, and internet browser all rolled into one handheld touchscreen operated package, also known as the iPhone. Something which would set the bar for every other mobile tech company, and which has remained an industry leader in the 12 years since in terms of its unique functionality. It's because of revolutionary ideas like these, combined with Jobs' role as a public-facing guru of sorts, which has led to fans embracing Apple and its products with a fervor that isn't often shown to other businesses. On the one hand, Jobs acts as a sort of messianic figure, stepping on stage at conferences to thunderous applause from crowds of thousands in order to deliver the new word from Apple year after year. Bill Gates even says of Jobs that, quote, his ability to focus in on a few things that count, get people who get user interface right, and market things as revolutionary are amazing things, end quote. And because the company's ideas are so trend-setting and are packaged as so simple and easy to understand, the process makes people feel like Jobs is someone they should pay attention to. It's an experience of inclusivity, and one which has led to the development of an extremely loyal Apple fan base over the years. We've all seen YouTubers vlogging about the latest Apple releases, walking outside the company's flagship stores on release day, capturing the hundreds of people lined up to be the first ones in on the action with the new iPhone model. People are not just willing, but eager to see what the buzz is about. And once they've caught the bug, they're likely to stay loyal. So much, in fact, that Stark Insider reports that as of March 2018, over 90% of iPhone users tended to either stick with Apple for their next phone purchase or upgrade to the next model. It's a level of dedication to the brand that one NYU professor, Erica Robles-Anderson, describes as cult-like. That's to say nothing of the fans who do things like shave the Apple logo into their hair and refuse to use Android operating systems. The fact is, Apple knows that they've cultivated this level of brand loyalty. They've worked hard for it, and it's been a major focus of theirs for years. And the bottom line is that they're a publicly traded company, meaning their prerogative is to show their shareholders results in terms of increased profit year by year. Their fans being as dedicated as they are, with as high a retention rate as they have, means that people are going to buy the newest iPhone, MacBook, etc., regardless of how much it costs. Because in their minds, they're paying for a justifiable increase in quality, whether or not that's actually the case. And with Apple, more often than not, it has proven to be the case. But what happens when their innovation engine starts firing at half capacity? When their iconic leader is no longer the face of the company? Again, rest in peace, Steve Jobs. And he's been replaced by a CEO who's a lot less popular with the public. It's maybe no fault of his own, but many would agree that Tim Cook, the current Apple CEO, is lacking in the same charisma and charm which made Jobs so beloved. And what happens when nearly everyone has already got an iPhone, and people are starting to feel like it's not worth upgrading because the one they have works well enough as is, and the past 3 models haven't brought anything game-changing to the average user experience? You start to see a decline in sales. Earlier this year, for example, iPhone sales fell at their steepest rate in years, 17% down from last year. And when Apple has got to keep its profits up and they've already got that juicy fan base to work with, they raise their prices because they know they can, which is why we're starting to see products like the Mac Pro Stand, announced at Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference in January 2019, at a price point of $999 US. Best case, that's a product most will elect not to buy. But at worst, it's indicative of the company's disrespect for their audience's intelligence. But if the market supports it, and Apple continues making money hand over fist, there really isn't any incentive for them to change anything about their business practices. If consumers want to see a change in Apple, whether that be in the form of a drop of their product's prices or a return to the need to innovate the way they used to, they're going to have to vote with their wallets by taking their business elsewhere. That's all for our look on why Apple is so expensive. Do you feel that their price increases are justified? Do you think that they're unfair to customers? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe to The Richest for more videos like this one. Hit the bell icon to join our notification squad. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.